So based on the fact that only 2 people turned their homework in last week, I'm going to assume that maybe we need to go over this one more time. Okay, so this looks a little bit different than the notes from before. So let's try this and see if it helps explain. I'm going to go through it and then we'll go through one problem together. So when we look at completing the square, and it says we can't factor it because of the integers, so it has to be in the form of, has to be in the form ax squared plus bx equals c. Okay, so if we look over here, we have x squared plus 8x minus 10 equals 0. We have to move this 10 over, so I'm going to add it to both sides. It gets eliminated on that side, and we're left with x squared plus 8x equals 10. Okay, so that's the first step. Now, remember this is in the form ax squared plus bx equals c, and our a in this case is a 1, so because there's nothing before x. Our b is 8 and our c is 10. So the next step is to take half of b, which is 8, so half of 8, which equals 4, and then square it. So you're going to take half of b and square it. In this case, we took half of 8, which is 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And we square 4. 4 squared equals 16. Now we're going to add that in to both sides of the equation. So if you look, it was added in here and added in here. So now we have x squared plus bx plus 16 equals 10 plus 16. And I like to go ahead and simplify this step. So I rewrite this exactly the way it is. Equals 26. Okay, so that's where we got that 26 from. So now we're going to factor all of this. Okay? And whenever we factor, we have our 2 parentheses, we have an x on one side in each parentheses, and this 4 is always and forever, going to come from this up here. So it's going to be the same number. You don't even have to try to figure out 2 numbers that multiply together to give you 16 that add up to 8, because it's always going to be half of b. So no matter what, that number is going to be half of b. Now, to determine if you're going to have a plus or a minus, you're going to look at comes right before b. So in this case, it's a plus. So both have a plus. Okay, so now what you have is basically you have x plus 4 squared equals 26. And we've done this before. So in order to solve this, we're going to take the square root of both sides so we can get x plus 4 by itself. So again, take the square root of this and the square root of that, and we get x plus 4 equals plus or minus radical 26. Now in this case, radical 26 is in its simplest form. We cannot reduce radical 26. So our answer is going to look like this. X equals negative 4 plus or minus radical 26, because we still have to solve for x. So I like to break it down. So I have x plus 4 equals positive radical 26, and x plus 4 equals negative radical 26. And minus 4 from both sides. We can't combine there, so we just get x equals negative 4 radical 26. That's our answer. Sorry, plus 26. Then we have it over here. Subtract 4 from both sides. X equals negative 4 minus radical 26 is our answer. Okay, so let's do one together. X squared plus 2x minus 3. So the first step is we need to put it in a squared plus, all right, let me start that over again. A x squared plus bx equals c. So we need to get our 3, our negative 3 over here. So we're going to add it to both sides and rewrite x squared plus 2x equals 3. Now I'm going to take half of b. In this case 2 is b, so I'm going to take 1/2 times 2, which equals 1. And I'm going to square it, and it equals 1. Now I'm going to add it to both sides. So I have x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 3 plus 1. Okay. I like to simplify this side. Rewrite it again. X squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 4. Now I'm going to factor this. So I have x, and I get x plus 1, because I said it comes always from there. X plus 1, and it's a plus because of the plus sign in front of b, equals 4. So to solve, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And when I take the square root of the factored side, it eliminates 1. I get x plus 1 equals, the square root of 4 is 2, so plus or minus 2. Now I like to rewrite that to say x plus 1 equals positive 2, and x plus 1 equals negative 2. Subtract 1, subtract 1. X equals 1. Subtract 1, subtract 1. X equals negative 3. And those are your answers. X equals 1. X equals negative 3. Okay, so hopefully this helps give you another rundown on how to do this. Remember, if you have any questions, to reach out and let me know. Go ahead and complete the next 5 problems and turn that in.